In this class, we will study about a clause stated in the perfect, progressive tense, and the passive voice. The first clause is stated in the past, perfect, progressive tense, and the passive voice of the speaker. Past, perfect, progressive, and a tense, and the passive voice of the speaker. There is a clause, I had been greeted. The form of the intransitive verb had reveals that the experience of the speaker lasted from a far point in the past to the close point in the past. We can understand that the speaker states a clause about an experience that completed in the past, at the present. The time gap between the close point in the past and the present when the speaker delivers this clause to the listeners in the conversation is revealed with the form of the intransitive verb had. The form of the past participle been reveals that the speaker responded the flow of time as the fundamental basis to discuss about the experience of the speaker. In a way, to exist. In the subject-object relationship between the time and the speaker is the object to receive the period. So we can understand that the form of the past participle been reveals that the speaker is the time receiver. The speaker responded the flow of time in a way to exist, and each point during the period of the experience, the speaker is described to exist actively. And each point in the period when the speaker existed from the far point in the past to the close point in the past is specified, is zoomed into a period. The period is stated as the speaker emphasizes the fact that the speaker continued the condition to exist in the specified period with the application of the present participle being that has the trait as an adverb. At each moment, when the speaker existed from the far point in the past to the close point in the past, the speaker actively existed. Each point when the speaker existed is specified into the other period when the speaker continued to exist. We can understand that the present participle being specifies the definition of the past participle being. That is the other adverb. The present participle being has a trait as an adverb. The past participle being also has the trait as the adverb. We apply the indicative word being in the phrase human being, a person who exists during a period as an existence, living a life, is indicated as a human being because the speaker focuses on the lifetime as the duration of the condition while existing. So we can understand that the intent of the speaker to describe existing actively while the speaker was in the period from the far point in the past to the close point in the past. In a period, in each period is specified into a period again from the application of the present participle being. The speaker received the condition described by the transitive verb grade, that is the body of the past participle, graded. The speaker is in the two subject-object relationships as the object with time and an unstated subject to start and give the definition of the transitive verb grade. The speaker intends to emphasize that the speaker actively responded to the subject-object relationship with time as the object, and because the speaker specifies each moment when the speaker existed into a period that is described with the application of the present participle being. The first period, the speaker received from time as a time receiver, and each point when the speaker existed during the period is specified again with the application of the present participle being with the trait as an adverb. In each period when the speaker existed and the period for the experience, the speaker received the definition of the transitive verb grade from an unstated subject. The clause conveys the intention of the speaker as the object to emphasize that the experience of the speaker to get the action indicated by the transitive verb grade more than once continued, even at the close point in the past when the speaker declared the completion of the experience that lasted from the far point in the past to the close point in the past. The second clause is stated in the present, perfect, progressive tense, and the passive voice of the speaker. The form of the intransitive verb have reveals the accordance between the two moments of time. The speaker declares the completion of the experience at the present started from a point in the past, and the present is the time when the speaker delivers this clause to the listeners in the conversation. This accordance of time is revealed with the form of the intransitive verb have. The speaker describes how the experience of the speaker is with the application of the past participle being that has the trait as an adverb. The form of the past participle being reveals that the speaker is the time receiver in the subject-object relationship with the time. During the period, the speaker responds to the flow of time in a way to exist. In a way of existing, the speaker completes the subject-object relationship with time, and during the period as the basis to discuss about the experience of the speaker, the speaker specifies each point in the period in the other specified period again. We can understand that there is a period from a point in the past to the present, and the speaker existed or exists more than once during the period. Let's suppose that the speaker existed 4 times. Each time is specified again with the application of the present participle being to specify the 4 times of existence during the period from a far point in the past to the present. The speaker emphasizes that continuous existing actively with the application of the present participle being. The speaker reveals that the speaker is the second subject-object relationship with the unstated subject, mediated by the transitive verb grid. That is the body of the past participle graded that has the trait as an adjective to describe the speaker as a subject is a subjective complement. The past participle graded reveals that the speaker is the object in the subject-object relationship to receive the condition described by the transitive verb graded from an unstated subject. The clause conveys the intention of the speaker to emphasize that the experience to get action, indicated by the transitive verb greet more than once, continues even at the present when the speaker declares the completion of the experience that lasts from the point in the past to the present. The third clause is stated in the future perfect progressive tense, and the passive voice of the speaker. The application of the modal verb will to describe the definition of the intransitive verb have reveals that the experience stated in this clause is going to be declared as a completion in the future. We can understand that the speaker states the experience that is ongoing is stated by the speaker. The time gap between the present when the speaker delivers this clause to the listeners at the present and a point in the future that when the speaker is going to declare the completion of the experience is revealed with the application of the modal verb will that is separately stated with the intransitive verb have, because the past was fixed, the present is fixed. So we can understand that the present and the past are certain about whether the experience, condition, or action actualized or actualizes or not. The future experience, condition, or action can be stated with our determination because the actualization of the experience, condition, or action is up to the one, our Lord. Sorry? So we can understand that the modal verb will and the intransitive verb have are separately stated. From the perspective of the certainty, the past participle being reveals that the speaker is in the subject-object relationship with time during the period as the fundamental basis to discuss about the experience of the speaker. The speaker responds to the flow of time in a way to exist according to the definition of the be verb, that is the body of the past participle being with a trait as an adverb. The speaker describes that the speaker responds to the flow of time until a point in the future in a way to exist. The speaker specifies each point in time in the period until a point in the future when the speaker is going to declare the completion of the experience is specified again into a period for the speaker as the subject existing initiatively by the emphasis of the speaker who applies the present participle being with the trait as an adverb. We can understand that the speaker emphasizes that the speaker as the subject exists during the period. For example, let's suppose that the speaker is going to exist for 4 times until a point in the future when the experience of the speaker is going to be completed. In each point when the speaker exists or is going to exist is specified again into a period for the subject to exist initiatively. The present participle that has the trait as an adverb reveals this emphasis of the speaker. And the speaker reveals that the subject is in the subject-object relationship mediated by the definition of the transitive verb greet with an unstated subject. The unstated subject receives the definition of the transitive verb. The speaker receives the definition of the transitive verb greet in the subject-object relationship as the object. The speaker is the object in the subject-object relationship mediated by the transitive verb greet. So the speaker focuses on the perspective of the object to receive the definition of the transitive verb greet from an unstated subject. The clause conveys the intention of the speaker to emphasize that the experience to get the action indicated by the transitive verb greet more than once will continue even at a point in the future when the speaker will declare the completion of the experience that will last from the uncertain point in time to the point in the future. In the clause stated in the future perfect tense or the future perfect progressive tense, the speaker only reveals the point in the future as a point in time when the speaker is going to declare the completion of the experience. We can think that the experience of the subject started in the past, start at the present, or is going to start in the near future earlier than a point in the future that the speaker is going to declare the completion of the experience.